Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of the Brav Bros. Well, I guess I don't know, since we're doing a joint episode, so I don't know if I should do the Brav Bros intro. Let me just introduce David Yonta from Behind the Velvet Rope. Big fan of your show. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. How are you today?
I've been looking forward to it too. It's a crossover. It's the first of hopefully many crossovers, and starting with Vanderpump Rules. So we're starting big, guys.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh
we're
Right?
really
yes.
excited. And of
Yeah,
course, how could I
everybody's got a
forget
lot to say.
Shoots?
Well, don't forget about me over here. I'll introduce myself. I'm Shooter
Oh
Magooter.
yeah, sorry.
Happy to be here. Happy to talk about Vanderpump with David today and Steele, I guess, of course. And yeah, I mean, what better show to start off with, especially now, given the recent news, the article, and then obviously the episode. Where I guess we should start is, do you want to start off with the article? Should we just get it out of the way right away?
Sure.
Everybody happy with that? Let's do
I
it.
mean, I think we have to because I went on Instagram and I thought it was a parody account. I thought there's no way on earth that Tom Sandoval, and that's saying a lot because he does a lot of stupid shit, but like there's no way that he compared his plight to that of OJ Simpson and George Floyd. I think I understand what he was trying to say as far as like captivating the media, but to make that reference, especially the George Floyd reference, especially during Black History Month, was astounding. I was blown away. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, it's taken on a life of its own. He's issued, and did you see his statement now? He's issued a
Oh
statement.
yeah.
Yep.
And I just saw something. Gertie from Miami has come out and she's got something to say to Mr. Sandoval. You know what it is? I was doing so many things at once when I read it. So it's so insane that it didn't even process. Like I read it and I was doing 100 other things. I'm like, wait, what? And then I went back to it. I'm like, what?
That's funny
It-
because that's pretty much how the Scandoval evolved for me. I read it or got like 50 text messages from Steele and other people, and I read the whole thing and I'm like, oh, wait, what the fuck happened? And then I went back and I was doing my other things, and then after a couple of minutes, it kind of set in. The article was way different. I mean, I thought it was a parody account immediately until I saw the NYT at the bottom and started dying laughing because how much more ridiculous can this guy get? It's incredible. It's unbelievable. He comes up with new ideas as to how to make him more hateable. And I just don't know. Every time that I think he's done, he's just not done. He just keeps going. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I wonder where this goes. Because did you read? I forgot what I was just reading. Did you read that his publicist, I guess, was on the phone the whole time texting, and that then Bravo called the next day? Did you read that part? And they were like, "No, what did you say about George Floyd?"
Yeah, he had like a crisis publicist like on hand to make sure he didn't do anything dumb. And the thing with all of it, and like it's making this season a lot more difficult for me to watch, honestly, because there is a part of me when the season started, when we're going through the motions again, we're getting back into Scandoval, and we're only 3 months removed, and it was a good reminder out of the gate, like, okay, it's still pretty fresh for everybody. So of course they're still going to harbor a lot of ill will towards them, all of this. And I was like, I wonder when we're going to see them start to piece the group back together, because we've seen them in the media. Like we've seen that, Lala's been with Sandoval, Scheana's been hanging out with him, Schwartz, they're cool with him again to some degree. But as this stuff's happening, and I'm trying to think, like, he cheated. It was crazy and captivating, and yeah, like he burned the world down in the process. But at the end of the day, it was a cheating scandal. So like there is a way for him to like reclaim his life in some capacity. But trying to sympathize with him or empathize in any way, shape, or form when he's going on the Vile Files and sounds ridiculous, and then he's going in the New York Times and sounding ridiculous. It's like this just might be who he is. He might just be a huge piece of shit with no redeemable qualities. And it's harder for me to watch the scenes with the confessionals and talking about being in love with Raquel and how he misses his friendship with Scheana. I'm like, you're just acting now. This is all bullshit because of how you're acting in the media right now today.
Yeah. I mean, there is a disconnect. Yeah. And you're just you just might be this person, right? I mean, and he also doesn't care. And then part of me is what you're doing in the media. I'm such a jaded person. This is the New Yorker in me. I'm such a is it slipping away? Is Scandal fading into the background that you want I almost feel I don't think this is a mistake, but I mean, I don't think this is purposeful, but part of me is I feel like he knows what he's being a douche, on the Vile Files. and is like, I'm just going to lean into it because like everyone's like starting to talk about something else. I don't know. That's just where my mind goes.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe he got, and this is a really, really weird way to put this. Do you think he got addicted to the attention? Like he sees everything kind of going away. And now, yeah, I
Yes.
mean, the show's back, so people are watching it this way, but he no longer has all these people pining for his attention to yell at him and, bash him all over the place. But we saw him over the summer going on tour with his band. He was embracing all of that. So that's why I think it's much harder to watch this show. And that's one of the more frustrating things is, like Steele said, yeah, you can kind of see a way that he gets back in. And we knew that the group kind of accepted him back at some point in time. So we've kind of been bracing ourselves for that. But we're watching this and we're watching him clearly lie in his confessional, and he's treating James like shit the first time that he sees James. He's treating Scheana like shit the first time that he sees Scheana. Like, how are they not seeing that? And I get that there's a show and you have to film with each other, so you kind of want to be a little copacetic at some point. But on a very real level, it's only 3 months removed. You've got Ariana over here telling you, hey, this dude's a piece of shit. We do not have to give him any grace. I don't know why you guys feel so weird about this, just because Lisa's whispering weird things in your ear. That doesn't really count. You shouldn't be giving him any sort of space to figure this stuff out, or giving him any empathy. It doesn't make any sense. So while he's doing all of that and treating everybody like crap still instead of apologizing, I don't understand why the group is willing to accept him back. And I guess we're going to see that next week in Tahoe, where they start to have conversations with him and they're showing a little bit more emotion. That's really going to be annoying while he's doing all of this out in the current day.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I just can't wait. Give it like 24 hours. I'm sure Sheena's going to have a comment. I'm sure everyone's going to start having comments, even though we have to now watch this. It's like, what do they think about this? Like, where are their comments?
Yeah, and what's that going to do to the current state of like their friendships, and what gain, like any ground that he's gained has to be questioned now because of how he is behaving in the media. And what I was afraid was going to happen this season and what is now happening, this show cannot survive on Scandoval alone. And all we have talked about this season is Scandoval. And I'm not going to lie, like this episode dragged a little bit for me because it's like, all right, well, it raises the question of where does this show go from here? What's the next step for Vanderpump Rules without the polarizing event that was Scandoval? Because you can't survive on that. It's already running thin and it's episode 3. So what do you think?
I talk about that all the time on my podcast. Like, I don't, listen, we're going to watch this season, right? It was 3 months later. It's whatever. Where is this show next season? I don't understand where we're going to go from here. I mean, Ariana's not going to speak to him. I mean, others kind of are, but it's like, right, we can't still be talking about Scandoval next season. So what do we have here left? I don't know.
Yeah, we honestly have no idea where this show is going to go in the next couple of years. And Steele and I have theorized that Ariana is going to move on to bigger and better things. She's not going to be part of the show anymore. She's in Chicago. She's doing all these other things that she's always wanted to do aside from reality TV.